Hello. So I answered the wrong chapter, so I'm hurrying up and answering it now. So, number four, in high school, were you able to discuss sexual and relationship issues freely with your parents? How might you hope to do a better job when you become a parent? I was not permitted to discuss those things with my parents. When we had the class about sex at school, when I came home, my mom said, "So you know how everything works, right?" And then when I started showing interest in boys and engaging in sexual activity, I was told that it was disgusting, that I was being disgusting, and I was shamed, and it was not allowed. I wasn't allowed to go on dates until I was 16 because our house was very religious. And even then, my parents never liked any of the boys that I dated because they weren't LDS. And um, I felt like because of the way my mom talked to me about sex, that I couldn't come to her with anything. Um, she had told me the story about losing her virginity before she married my dad and how horrible that was. And the only way that she was able to feel better was to repent about her sin for being, so unholy and sleeping with her boyfriend, who was somebody that was her boyfriend for a long time. It wasn't like she just hooked up with somebody. Um, and the only way that she felt better was to repent. Um, that that just put like that put inside me that feeling sexual in any kind of way made me bad or gross or disgusting. But then at the same time, I was taught at church and at home that my body was a temple and that it was sacred. So how do you how do you put those two things together in your mind? Like me as a woman, I am sacred and I'm gross. How does that go together? I don't like now that I'm an adult and I understand myself better. I don't think that, but I did then, and it was very harmful. Um, Now I have an adult child and two teen boys, or one of them is approaching puberty, and I've always tried to be very open with them. Only like I don't offer up information that they don't ask, but if they ask something, I tell them the truth. And just recently, my 15-year-old told me that he wanted to have sex with his girlfriend. They've been together for months and months, and they, they're very committed to each other. And so I talked to him about being safe and making sure that, um, you know, he's telling him he's not ready to become a father, and how important it was to make sure that that didn't happen. And then he will probably be mad that I'm telling this to my class, but after they consummated their relationship, he called me and told me he didn't think he was good at sex and offered or asked me to give him some pointers on how to please a woman. And so I was like, okay. And I started talking, and he was like, no, mom, I don't want you to tell me. Then I have to look at your face when you tell me. Just send it in a text message. So I did, because the fact that he was brave enough to come to me and ask me that made me feel like I did a great job as a parent. And two, you know, I had put myself in his shoes. Would I, as a 15-year-old boy, want to have a face to face conversation with my mother about how to please a woman? Um, but it has a happy ending because I sent him, a step by step of everything that he needed to do. And the next time they had an encounter, it was much better. And he uses protection every time. And his girlfriend is on birth control. So I think both parents in this situation are doing a good job.